Mississippi Family Homestead. So we're out in the chicken pen this morning, and we're going to kind of talk about roosters and some of their characteristics and some things that you can expect maybe if you have roosters, or we just love to hear on the chat, you know, if you have roosters, is there any specific rooster you have or kinds that you have that you would like to talk about?
Or if you have too many roosters.
If you have too many roosters like me. So, I recently moved all my roosters to a bachelor pad. So, if you have a bunch of roosters, you can do that. You just need a pen where they're kind of separate from the hens. They can't associate with the hens really. They'll fight, but not, you know, a whole lot. So what I did is I kind of just made me what I called a bachelor pad, and I had a whole bunch of Silkie roosters, and I have one Americana rooster, and I kind of just took them and I put them all in a pen just by themselves. So it's been about a week and it's going okay. Now, you wouldn't think so. Now, my other rooster is up in the pen, and he's kind of hiding from everybody. So, the Silkie roosters, there's 4 of them, and they're kind of picking on him, kind of just, you know, they don't want him to be really part of their little community that they have. So, these 4 little Silkie roosters grew up together, and they are picking on him. Now, if you don't know, an Americana rooster is really big. They're, you know, kind of a big rooster. And these little Silkies are kind of small. So, he's kind of hiding up here in the roosting area. So, I would love to hear in the comments if you have any ideas as to, you know, how I can get him to maybe, or get the Silkie chickens to stop picking on my, you know, on my Americana rooster. And I really kind of feel sorry for him. He's just up there by himself, and, you know, just not really talking to anybody. So I don't know if you can see him or not, but he's kind of over there against the fence, and like he doesn't want to really associate with anybody.
Does he come out to eat?
I think he does, but I think what I'm going to need to do is probably get him, maybe I may put some food and water up there just to make sure that he's eating and drinking something. So this is a Silkie rooster, and sometimes it's kind of hard to tell the difference on your Silkie roosters between them and the hens. But Silkie roosters kind of have a comb right here in their feather line. Can't call it a fur line, it's really feathers. Their feathers go all the way back, if you can see here how he is. And then they have, just like a regular rooster, they have little cluckers here. And yeah, you're okay. Yeah, you're okay. You're okay. And they have some different colored ears. This one you can't see real well. I'll get the white one in a minute so you can see. They have their ears are like a teal color, which is odd. And also, he's okay. He's okay. Also, Silkie roosters have black meat. Like under their fur, their body is black. And, you know, in like China, they eat them for specialty meat, because they think it has like medical purposes. And of course I don't want to eat mine, but that's one thing they do. And then they have an extra toe on their feet. Can't really see it real well, but they have more toes than what a normal chicken or a normal rooster does. They don't really have big spurs like a big rooster would have. They're just kind of small, but they're small but mighty. So this little rooster, I really need to give them all a name. I need to put bands on them so I can tell the difference. There's actually 3 black ones and 1 white one in here. And we did leave our other rooster named Crazy Ed over there with the other chickens. He had Ryneck, and we kind of feel sorry for him. He's just different. He has a different little personality, and I don't know if you can see or not, but he's in here with the hens and the Polish chickens. Yeah, right there.
Right there.
Yeah. So he he has some kind of really good personality. So if you don't know, all chickens have a personality. They're just like a dog or a cat. They kind of, some of them stand out more than others do in their personalities. And Ed is kind of like that. He really stands out as a rooster in his personality and the way he acts. There he goes. He's crowing this morning. The other night, Crazy Ed and roosters will like protect their hens. They'll gather them up. They'll call them, to their food. They'll kind of make a little calling noise and kind of tell them, here's your food. Come eat this. And so Crazy Ed, the other night, I had come outside to lock him up, and he was outside running around in the dark, and the camera light came on, but he was outside running in the dark, and he was trying, there were 2 of the little Polish hens were not in the roosting area, and he was trying to gather them up and get them up in the roosting area. It was so funny to see, little Crazy Ed trying to round the Polish hens up and get them in the roosting area.
So he wants to make sure they're all safe.
Yeah, he was like really upset about it. So I put them all up, put him up, and put the Polish.
So he's happy as he can be.
He's happy as he can be. He's the only. Well, there is a Polish rooster, but those Polish chickens, they're only, what are they? Maybe 4 months, 3 or 4 months old now. And so they're still kind of young. So as that Polish rooster gets older, I will take him and put him over here in the bachelor pad with the other roosters. So that's what I'm planning on doing. They are just so amazing to me, really, the way that they have their personalities and the different roosters do different things. And now I have 2 other roosters in the other pen. One of the roosters is a black copper Moran, and he's over in this pen next door, and he kind of hangs out with the hens in there. There's 2 black copper Moran hens. There is Olive Egger, and then Gloria. We moved her over there last week. She's kind of hanging out. Yeah, she was the hen over here with my Americana rooster, just so he would have some company. But really not sure what I'm going to do with my Americana rooster. He just seems, so upset and just keeping to himself. And I'm just wondering if, it's like he's depressed because I took, his hen away.
Well, he's looking at the other hen through the...
Yeah, he is. So he's like depressed. He's sad because I took Gloria away and put her over there. That's her. That's over there somewhere.
You feel sorry for him.
Yeah. Oh, there she is. She's over there under the ladder thing.
She doesn't look happy either.
No, she's not. So, but they were in the coop side by side. There hadn't been too much bullying of her. So she seems to be doing okay. But she is a little upset, but she's okay. They seem to really be kind of getting along. I'm sorry, I'm distracted by the chickens. They seem to really be getting along okay over there. And that rooster, if y'all can see, he's red. He's a red color, red and black. And he is black copper Moran. And his name is Clyde. So he's kind of my outlaw chicken. He used to kind of be want to get out of the pen all the time, and so I named his little hen that he has, Bonnie, and he is Clyde. So they're kind of like little outlaws. And I'm not sure what Clyde is doing over there. He's sticking his head in the corner. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. And just another thing to say how odd some of these roosters' personalities are, the way that they act and the things that they do. They are just, I don't know, they have a personality just out of this world, usually, more than what the hens have. And, you know, you don't have to have roosters for your hens to lay eggs, but I just kind of enjoy the roosters and, you know, just watching them with their personalities. And they usually have such a big, I don't know, personality, and I love that in the roosters. And, you know, we had a friend, and his mom actually loved roosters, and she would take those roosters and raise them in the house, and that was her thing. Like, she would pet the rooster.
She only had one rooster.
She had one rooster at a time, but she would have them, you know, in the house. They were her friend. She would actually keep them in the house, and you know, like,
it was a nice house. It wasn't like
it was a nice house. So she, you know, she loved her roosters, and I actually hatched her a little rooster and gave it to her, and she loved that. She thought that was just so neat, and it's my understanding that she had kind of done that, you know, kind of her whole life, and the rooster was kind of her companion, you know, and she would take that rooster and, you know, kind of pet it up, and it was her friend. And you know, chickens are social animals, so if they don't have other chickens to hang out with, they will, you know, socialize with you just like a dog or a cat will. So I just think that's kind of neat that she would do that.
I guess we got to figure out what we're going to do with this.
Yeah,
rooster.
we got to, I don't know. I would love to hear in the comments below if you have any ideas what we can do with Flatfoot. I don't know. I don't want to put him completely isolated by himself, you know. I feel like maybe it'll calm down eventually with being in here with the other roosters. And I know he's kind of sad, and I don't know. The answer may be to put the other roosters somewhere and put Gloria back over here with them. You know, it's kind of like they were married in a way. In a way, because yeah, he's depressed. He's depressed about Gloria going next door with the other rooster. So, if you have any ideas about that, I would love to hear what your ideas are. And there's Crazy Ed. He's crowing. Is he coming out, or is he still over there by the? Is he just in there?
He's over there against the wire.
Bless his heart. Well, one of the hens is over there, like, talking to him through the wire. So, bless him. I feel really, really sorry for him. So, if you want to, maybe we can go over here and maybe get a closer look at Clyde and then maybe Nick and kind of talk about them and their personalities. So we're going to move over here for just a second. So if y'all will be patient with us.
Yeah, it's cold this morning.
It is cold this morning. It really kind of is. You want to go to Nick?
Is that where you're going?
Yeah, let's go see about Nick. Get the pen open. All right, Nick. Probably should have got them some treats. They probably think I'm being ugly this morning. All right. So, let me see if I can catch Nick, maybe. Let's get a close look at him. he'll allow me to. Come here, Nick. Oh, he's gonna run. It's okay, bud. All right. So this here is Nick, and the reason he's Nick, we thought that Nick was not going to survive. We thought that we didn't even think he was going to hatch, and I hatched him myself. He hatched on day, if you don't know, if you're hatching chickens, they usually hatch on day 21 to 22, and Nick didn't hatch on day 21 or 22. He was the last egg to hatch. He hatched on day 23, and he was kind of sick. He had, he still had his little umbilical cord attached to him when he came out of the egg, and we just thought, he's going to die or something. So we kept him in the incubator by himself for quite a while. I don't know, it was like 2 or 3 days because he was, just so sicky. And then we got him and we put him in, in the pen with the hens that we had hatched and the other roosters. And it was like his personality exploded. He was a character. He would do like just funny little things, like run around, and you could just see his character really coming out. And so the reason he's Nick is because, he was in the NICU, so we named him Nick. But he's about 5 years old now, and he's in here with his own little set of hens. And these hens in this coop are just, homegrown hens, most of them. They're not, they're just kind of mixed breeds in here together, and he kind of takes care of them, and he loves them. And he is just a sweet boy. He's never really attacked anybody or done anything ugly to anybody. He just sits over here and he takes care of the hens, makes sure that they're taken care of, and he, he's like a regular rooster. He'll call them and, say, hey, here's the food, whatever, come eat. And he's just the sweetest boy. Now, I don't know if you can see or not. It looks like he has, as your roosters get older, they're going to have some things that happen to their comb and stuff. But it looks like he may have a little frostbite on his comb right here. So we might need to treat that and see about it. And also, about a couple of years ago, he had frostbite on his comb, and his comb kind of turned black at the top. I'm sorry, Nick. Let me let you.
Do we have an egg?
Actually, I don't know where this egg. Why?
You may want to explain to people what's going on.
Yeah, we'll explain about the eggs. Anyway, so Nick kind of got that on his comb, and if you have a rooster that's had something wrong with their comb, you can actually get medicine for them from the supply stores. I think it's called Blue Coat, and put that on any sore and it'll kind of heal them. Maybe next time or in another video I'll get that and I'll try to show you what it is.
Did you use it on his comb?
Yes, I used it on his comb, and now his comb seems to be, like 10 times better. It looks all healthy and red like it should. So it finally got well, but for a long time it was kind of black at the top. So, they can get frostbite if you don't know that. Especially roosters, if they have a tall comb, because their comb is so tall, if they are in freezing weather, and it's kind of like their comb can freeze, So just be leery of that if you have a rooster and they're out in the cold. Just make sure that it don't freeze in their pen, because their combs can get frostbite. So, talking about the eggs. So, I have about 15 hens, and 3 of those are my Silkie hens, and they are laying eggs. The Silkies are.
Good morning.
But
Tasha said good morning.
Good morning. So, they kind of have a problem laying eggs right now. The rest of them do. So, they went into a molting season, and they didn't lay eggs during the molting season, which was in the fall time. And I thought, well, when they get through with their molting season, they're gonna start laying eggs again. Well, they didn't, and they haven't. So, I went through a whole process, and we have a video that just released about changing their food and their whole diet to try to get them to start laying eggs. So if you're, if you're trying to get your hens to start laying eggs, you may want to try changing their diet and doing something like that to get them to lay eggs. They need a lot of protein. So I did that. I completely changed their diet. I changed their food and everything. So I see that one of them has somehow laid an egg out here where they wasn't supposed to. It's just laying out here in the coop. And this is it's a green egg, if you can see. And that came from the Easter egger. And, a lot of people don't know that chickens can lay different colored eggs, but they can. So a lot of people are just used to, buy them from the store and they're like white or, brown. And you have a breed of chickens called Easter eggers, and they're the ones that lay these green eggs like this. So anyway, they still are not laying eggs. So I'm not sure what I might can do to get them to start laying eggs, or to do something, to start laying eggs. But I would love to hear in the comments if you have any ideas. One person suggested that I start feeding them meat. And so I am going to see about buying some cheap meat and see what I can, do to get them to start laying some eggs again. The idea about changing their food hadn't really worked. I did introduce a lot of protein and things like that to their diet, but it's not really worked well. So I'm not sure. My next step is to probably start getting them. I'll buy some meat on sale or something. And, I would love to know some suggestions. If you have any suggestions about what type of meat they can eat. I mean, I know they can eat worms and bugs and grasshoppers and things like that. I even thought about, you have the fishing worms that you can buy, and they don't cost very much. But I feel like it would take a lot of those to feed them, especially because I have so many. And then maybe, I don't know, I'll cook some kind of meat, maybe just hamburger meat, for them to eat. And, I wouldn't season it or anything like that. Just cook it plain and see if they'll eat that. Thought about getting actual chicken and cooking it for them. And, Scott says that's cannibalism. But I think they wouldn't know the difference. And, you feed them eggs. They can eat scrambled eggs. So, it's kind of the same difference. It's just in a chicken form instead of an egg form. So I don't know if you can see or not, but Ren is up here, and she's kind of a mixed breed. She likes to get up high on this roosting bar, and she's really sweet chicken, but she's one of my ones that aren't laying eggs. So she's a sweet girl. I hatched her. She's just kind of a mixed breed. She has the puffs on her cheek, and when she was laying eggs, she was laying the green eggs. So she is an Easter egger. She'll lay those green eggs. So we're just kind of here, and let's we may can go over here and look at Clyde a little bit and his hens if we want to do that. So let's move over here. Okay, so we're going to get our equipment and move over here with Clyde and his hens.
What's the temperature?
I don't know.
It feels cold. I'm ready to do this on a
summer day. Yeah.
Last week it was pouring down rain.
Today it's cold.
Outside for the fire it was 28 degrees.
Yeah.
Is this an egg right here?
No, that's a fake egg. It kind of rolled out of the chicken pen. Okay. All right.
It wasn't the best crow.
No, it wasn't. That was a sad crow. I don't know if y'all heard that or not, but it was a really sad crow. So we're over here with Clyde and his hens. I haven't really named these hens in this group. I have 2 black copper Morans. I have an olive egger, and I have Gloria, who is coaching, and she has the feathers on her feet, and so do the black copper Morans. So I think that's kind of cool, you know, that they have the feathers on their feet and stuff. So I'd love to know what kind of chickens that you have that might have the feathers on their feet or whatever. I'd love to hear in the comments below. Also, let's see. Clyde is not going to let me catch him like Nick does. He is a kind of a wild boy. And Scott, if you'll kind of put the camera down, we have a visitor on the outside of the pen today. So we have a visitor rooster, and he is our free range rooster that my daughter-in-law has, and he's outside the pen just kind of looking in, talking to the other chickens, and his name is Harold. So if you'll take the camera and kind of put it down so we can see him. Come here, Harold. See if I can get him to come over here. Yeah.
So do they talk to each other?
Yeah, they talk to each other. And if you'll notice, they kind of look alike. But Harold is a mixed breed. He is, I don't really know what he is. He is just a mixed breed rooster. But Clyde is a full, you know, he's full breed black copper Moran. But they do kind of look alike in the way their colors are. But Harold is not really a nice rooster. He's okay. I can actually pick him up, but he likes to attack people.
He does that.
He does. He likes to attack people. And a lot of times if you have a free range rooster, they attack more than what the roosters are that are kind of in a pen for some reason, is what I've found. So I'd love to know if you have that issue with your roosters, you know, kind of attacking or anything if they're free ranging. And I kind of think it gets in their nature to just, you know, as a protector of the hens when they're free ranging outside, you know, I guess they think, well, we got to take care of these hens. So they get ugly and they, you know, they attack people sometimes. So I would love to know, you know, what your thoughts are on that. I'm kind of looking here and see if, what are y'all doing? Yeah,
so
he's
there's
just,
the rooster that's
he's just
mad.
He is mad, and he's just sitting by the fence. I really feel sorry for him. I would love to know, you know, in the comments below if you have a rooster or you've tried to have a bachelor pad, you know, what you've done to help them, you know, kind of get along or get together. But yeah, we have
the other Silkie roosters are not worried about it.
No, they're not.
All of them are roosters?
Yes, all of them are roosters. So too many roosters. And you can have, now you don't want too many roosters with your hens. You need a ratio. You know, you don't, if you're going to have more than one rooster and have them all together, the roosters need a lot of hens. They say, you know, 7 to 10 hens to one rooster. So if you have more than one rooster and you have hens, you need to get, you know, 20 hens if you have 2 roosters, you know, because they will fight. And I've tried to put them together before and have more than one rooster. And if they're raised together, it usually works out pretty well. But if they're not raised together, it's not good. Now, you know, my Americana rooster and Nick were in the pen together, and Nick is older than my little Americana rooster, and something happened. They had a bad fight, and we thought Nick was gonna die. I mean, he was hurt. You know, he was just laying around for a long time, and I had to separate them. And that's one reason that Flatfoot, my Americana rooster, is kind of over here, you know, by itself. So I kind of thought that he would be okay when I put him in there with the Silkie roosters, but he doesn't seem to be okay, and he's kind of depressed.
You were worried about him bullying the rest of them.
Yeah, we were worried about him bullying them, but it's kind of went the opposite of that.
He just needs to use his weight and take control.
Yeah. He does. And it may just be more about he's worried about Gloria's over here and not in there with him anymore, you know. Kind of feel bad, you know, that I took away his wife, you know. And I'm wondering if I made a mistake and need to put them back together. Now, my real plan was to kind of get to sell the Silkie roosters, or, you know, do something with them, because there's just too many of them, and they can't have that many roosters in there with the 3 Silkie hens that I have. So, you know, I'm really at a loss. I want to try to get rid of them. Don't want to kill them. I just can't bring myself to kill the chickens after I've hatched them and raised them. That's just not something that I am able to do, because they're my pets and I, you know, love them. So, you know, if you have any ideas what I might can do with these Silkie roosters, give me an idea. I did advertise them in the paper for sale, but we have a count, like a
farm type paper.
Yeah, farm type paper, and there's
agriculture paper.
Yes, an agricultural paper, and people advertise stuff in there all the time. So I may just put them in there, you know, maybe for free, and then maybe after we can get rid of them, we can put get our Americana rooster or some hens. You know, I'd love to have a group of just Americana chickens. You know, and if you don't know, the Americanas lay the bluer eggs. They're like a blue color, and they're beautiful.
So
beautiful
would you
eggs.
hatch them again, or would you try to just
I think I might try to order them, so I'll have all hens. Now, in the future, you know, this year, we're probably going to hatch some more, but they're going to be the rare breed if we hatch some more. I've never ordered just chickens. I've ordered hatching eggs, but never baby chickens from the hatchery. So I'm really kind of nervous to know how that goes, but, you know, I hear it goes fine. People do it all the time. They'll order their chickens in the mail, and, you know, the mail carriers, they keep them at the post office and you have to go pick them up. But I'd love to hear if, you know, what your experience is with that, about ordering them. But yeah, I'd love to order some.
And we have a rural post office that's only open certain
hours, we do.
But I guess it could be done.
Yeah, it can be done. I know one time I had ordered some hatching eggs, and they got mixed up in the mail, and they went to the wrong post office, but they called me. They were able to call me and say, hey, we have I'm worried about your eggs. You know, they're usually really nice. You know, if you have something live coming in the mail, they're like, and it says live on here, that, you know, can you come get them? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I went and picked those up, and I forgot what group that was that I hatched.
So we have done a lot of eggs.
Yeah, we have.
Eggs.
We have done a lot of mail order eggs.
For the most part, they've worked out pretty good.
They have. The problem with the mail order eggs, and, you know, your incubator is the thing that you have to make sure of if you're hatching your own eggs. You have to have a good incubator. You can't have something that's kind of, you know, dinky and old or cheap. You know, you kind of have to spend a little bit of money on it.
The problem was the incubator?
I do think every time that I've hatched eggs and it's not worked out, it's the incubator. I mean, I had to I got a cheap one time and made a mistake with that. And so, you know, it just didn't work out too well when I used those cheap incubators.
So is it cold to the chickens out here? What is it, in the 40s?
Yeah. Well, you know, not really. They acclimate to the weather, you know, really. You don't want to spoil your chickens and give them heat, really, in the wintertime. Unless it's zero, you know, outside.
I think in the northern part of the United States you might. But.
Now, you know, if they're in the South like we are, the only time we've ever really, you know, tried to lock them up and wrap them up at night was, and we had to like use a tarp and wrap it around the chicken pen in our old chicken pen. And it got down to 0 for a couple of nights, and we kind of wrapped their roosting area in a tarp and, made sure that they didn't freeze. But I didn't provide heat for them. When they roost up there, the roosting bars helps them keep their feet warm because they kind of sit down on their feet and keep warm that way. And then if you have chickens, you don't want to really just have a couple of them. You want to have a group of them, like 5 or 6, so they can keep each other warm, because they kind of huddle together. And, it's like, the more of them that huddle together, the higher their heat is, their body heat helps keep them warm. As I mentioned a while ago, the only concern a lot of times is their combs get frostbit. Now, Clyde looks like he may have a touch of frost or just a sore on his comb. I don't know if you can see that or not. But it is, the roosters do get some sores and stuff in their comb. And if you ever have any chicken that has a sore or something on it, sometimes the other chickens will pick on them and, pick at their sore. And so you have to separate them. I had one that had like a sore, something happened to her. I don't know if a hawk tried to get her or what, but she had a bad sore on her back, and the other chickens would like try to, pick at her and stuff. And, it was so bad. It was like a hole in her back, and she finally, just passed away from having that. But they can get hurt, and they can get frostbite in the wintertime. So just be aware of that, especially if you're in a really cold area. They do need some of that. So today, on Saturday, is my day where I kind of clean the chicken coop some, spot clean if I need to. I fix their water, and I fill up their food on Saturdays. So today I'm going to be working on doing some of that. Every day I give them treats. I've been trying to give them extra protein so they will lay eggs, which is not really working. But we'll try to make a video on getting them some real meat to eat and see if that'll help them.
So would fish and worms, you mentioned fish and worms earlier, would that be considered real meat? Yeah,
because they're worms. But, I even thought about, which right now it's wintertime. I don't know if anybody really sells the live bait.
They have worms.
Yeah. Even thought about maybe doing some fish, without bones. You'd have to get boneless fish. We thought about, we have brim in our pond, kind of catching the brim, and it would be a pain, though, to catch the brim and clean them and then debone, do fillets and debone them. You don't really want your chickens eating bones.
We also have some big catfish in there.
Yeah, we do have some big catfish in there. So, if I can find some stuff on sale, some kind of meat, I may buy that and try that. Even if it's, a lot of times when the meat sits in the grocery store, it kind of gets old, and they'll put it on sale and mark it down. So, whatever meat I can find marked down, I'm going to try to do that.
And if you're just joining us, we're talking about our chickens for several months have not laid eggs.
Right. So
and maybe they've just got it too well. But anyway, if you've ever had this problem,
just let us know
in the chat.
Yeah. We'd love to hear about it if you've had that kind of issue. Now,
maybe they just have too much luxury.
You think so? I mean, they are in this nice covered area. They have a nice, roosting area. It's big and spacious, and, lots of roosting bars up there. I cleaned it out. Was that the weekend?
So what all have you tried for the...
So what all I've tried, I changed their food to organic layer crumbles. I have gotten scratch grains and just treats and mealworms. If I had eggs, if they were laying eggs correctly, which I do have some saved up from the Silkies, and I'll probably cook some of those today, scramble them, and feed them some of those eggs. You know, I do that a lot when they were laying eggs. I was feeding them just the scrambled eggs.
Somebody said good morning there.
Oh, hey, good morning. So,
Can you read the name?
yeah, so it's
Her vision's not the best. So.
no, it's not. So, good morning, happy chickens. We love to hear from you, and like to know, maybe give us a comment if you have any chickens that are not laying eggs, something that you've done to try to get them to lay eggs.
So the coop next door, so they did lay one. Did that hen stop altogether, or maybe
she had stopped. So she is the only one that lays an egg right now, but she won't lay an egg every day. It'll just be every other day, maybe. And I know it's just one hen because it's one of the Easter eggers that's laying them, and it's probably she's kind of a colored hen. She has some brown and black on her. She is an Easter egger. She's right there, if you can see her. She's the one that lays the green eggs, and I believe she's the culprit. She's the one that'll lay eggs sometimes, but it's not every day. It's just
so. Is it a mental thing with them that they don't lay eggs?
I don't know.
With the chicken,
I mean, I've read things where they have to produce, a lot of energy in the wintertime, but there was days where it was really warm, like around Christmas time and before Christmas. Those were warm days.
Well, maybe that they're waiting until it gets warm again.
I don't know, but those were warm days, and they didn't lay eggs then, And I know there's a fact that they don't lay eggs during the molting season, but I don't know what you can do to kind of get them to start laying, eggs again. Once they go through that molting season. I have tried the protein and stuff. I'm going to scramble them some eggs today and feed that to them as a treat along with their mealworms and their grains and stuff.
Now you're going to have to do something about him. He's just so depressed.
I know.
I think it's his hens over here.
It may be. It probably is. He is kind of real depressed.
He looks depressed.
And so, if you have any ideas what I might do.
I don't know if you can see him on the camera, but look,
he's like, where is my hen? You took my hen away, and now I'm trying to look at her through this wire. And, he's being bullied over there.
Got another comment?
Yeah. Yes, so they do slow down during the cold weather. They naturally slow down and stop laying eggs during the cold weather.
But I think ours stopped before. Did they stop before the cold weather?
Yeah, they stopped before the cold weather during the molting process, and then they just didn't start laying again.
So maybe it might be till spring before they
Yeah, it may be
eggs.
till spring before they lay eggs. I don't know. I wish that... I could think of something or do something to help them. I tried to take drastic measures and change their food completely out and change the brand and all of that and give them, some meat.
It could be just too cold now.
Yeah, it is. It has gotten pretty cold. So, yeah, they do slow down in the wintertime.
Now... They do slow down, but this is the first time ours have. Mississippi don't.
It doesn't get really
cold weather, but
it doesn't get extremely cold.
But now other people, I think theirs may have slowed down, but this is the first time ours
has ever slowed
during
down
the winter time.
Last winter when they were in the old chicken coop, they did really well. They laid eggs all winter long, and
maybe they need to go back.
Yeah. Now, one thing I did do in the wintertime last year, I made them kind of a mesh. Like I would take warm water and mix it up with their layer pellets and some grains and proteins and stuff and feed that to them. Maybe I should try that again, making them just like a mash of, stuff, just, protein and stuff like that, and see if that'll help them. If you do have cold weather, that's one thing you can do, especially before they go to bed, like in the afternoons. You can make them something warm to eat. Like I just take hot water and mix it up with their regular crumbles. And then I mix in some grains and some mealworms and kind of just some stuff in there and give it to them before they go to bed, especially if it's real cold. And I still do that. You know, if it's going to be really cold, I'll give them kind of that mesh to warm them up at night before they go to bed. So maybe I should try just giving them that every day. You know, I'm just trying everything at this point to try to get them to start laying eggs like they should. And these two black copper Morans over here, they're really young chickens and hens, and they should be laying eggs.
Did you hatch them, or were they the ones that came from the...
They're the ones that came from the farm, and that we actually went and got.
Picked them up.
Yeah, we went to a farm in Mississippi, and we picked them up. There was actually several of them, and I won't get into that, but, you know, I only have 3 of those left out of that group. And there were, I don't know, 15. So, didn't have a good experience with that. But, you know, those 3 have survived. And then that's Gloria and the 2 black copper Morans that survived from that.
You know, that's one thing if you're going to get one at a farm, kind of
do your research.
Do your research and see if other people are happy with them. Yeah,
look at the reviews and stuff, and, you know, try to get them from a reputable farm, you know, that's clean. You know, you can tell when you go in there if it's clean or not. You know, if the hatcheries and things don't keep it clean, it has to be clean. And when you're raising that many babies and that many chickens, you know, they'll get problems with their breathing and get sick if they're not in an environment that's clean, you know, especially when you're introducing, you know, those young chickens come out of the eggs and, you know, they're kind of in a sterile environment, and then you introduce them to, you know, just crud and stuff, and they, you know, they don't do well. They can get sick. And so that's just a thought, you know, just make sure that you're getting them from a good farm. But anyway, the black copper Moran should be laying eggs. And if you don't know, a black copper Moran lays a really, really dark brown egg. It's almost a red color. It's so dark. I just think it's neat to have chickens that lay different colored eggs. So I wanted to get the black copper Morans and, you know, get them to lay in some dark eggs.
How many different type of eggs do you have?
Okay,
here?
So I have the Easter eggers, which lay the green colored eggs. And then there is a Americana hen over here, and she should be laying blue eggs. And then my black copper Morans, they should be laying the really, really dark eggs. And then all the rest of them just lay a normal colored dark egg, like a brown egg.
Normal color for us
is a brown egg. Yeah.
You know, normal color if you buy them in the grocery store
is usually white.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's what we have. So, you know, I hope that all of this has been kind of, you know, entertaining for you. And if we'd love to hear in the comments below if you have roosters, if you have chickens that are not laying eggs, what you've done to get them, you know, to lay eggs. So
you want to go see the Silkies?
Yeah, let's go see about the Silkies.
Is their water kind of frozen?
It's okay, I think. It didn't freeze last night.
Oh, they can get
the
back.
And
we may be locked in.
Oh dear. Let me see if we can get out the door here. Scott?
Our doors, we've got to do a little different arrangement on our doors.
Yeah, we may be locked in. There we go. Okay.
Locked in on the live stream.
That'd be bad. We'd need you to call somebody.
We could post a number and call for help. Can you grab the light?
Oh, yeah.
Just set it out here. And if you haven't seen our coop before, we have four places, plus a little room inside to keep the feed.
And we'll look at them too in a minute. I'll talk about them.
Oh, that's right. They're still in there.
Yeah. I'm coming. Scott, if you want to go on in there, trying to get the door closed. We need to work on our pen a little bit more.
You know, this is a design flaw. We built this new chicken coop, and down on the bottom, oh, open the door again.
Okay.
The problem on the bottom, I think we need a little piece of wood, so because all this, the dirt and stuff makes it hard for the door to shut.
Yeah, it piles up against the door because they, you know, they scratch and stuff.
And then the other thing is we got to do a different latch here.
Yeah.
That's not working
I
well.
have it rigged. I have to, like, get a piece of wire to open it with whenever we go in there. So we're going to go in here and talk to the Silkies for a minute. And the Polish, hey, baby, move.
Okay, this also is our live stream.
Yeah, so if you're watching live,
the Silkie live stream, we're doing a live stream on another feed. But
yeah.
We have a all-day live stream where you can also feed the chickens.
Yeah.
The little mealworms. We have mealworms. And
let me see if I can give them some though. Here, let me.
I haven't tested to make sure it works.
It does. It's working. I hear it every now and then. See if they'll come eat.
But
they're kind of shy.
Silkies, and what are these other ones called?
They're Polish.
Polish.
Polish bantams. They're all bantams. You know, Silkies are bantams, but I have some Polish chickens.
All right, there's Crazy Ed.
Yeah.
If you can tell.
So Crazy Ed, I love Crazy Ed, y'all. He is just a character. See how he's calling the hens? He's like, "Come eat this, come eat this." He really wants them to come eat some food.
Oh, we've got one hiding back, or is that one?
Yeah, it's a Polish. They're kind of shy. The Polish ones are because they're new to this group.
I like their hairdo.
Yes, their hairdo is awesome, and they're. Polish chickens are actually a show chickens, and if you don't know, there are shows for the chickens just like there are dog and cat shows.
Did you put Crazy Ed in there?
I don't know if I could put Crazy Ed. He'd need a bath. You know, they wash their chickens, and that's a whole thing. They have like show chickens it's like just like a dog show. And there he goes. All right, Ed. He's like, come eat, come eat. He's my sweet boy. He's like, come on,
He
come
was, I think, tell about when he was in the bachelor pad.
He was in the back. Yes, I did. I put him in the bachelor pad, and I had him kind of separated because he has Rhineck, and I was trying to get him well. And so I had let him, and he was over here in that cage. I don't know if y'all saw it a while ago, but he was in his special cage by himself. And I was trying to get him well, and he seems to be doing better. I think he's just crazy. He just is, and he's just an odd chicken.
We are still giving him some nutrition.
We are. I've added some vitamins to their water in here.
He may need counseling.
He needs something. But when I moved him over there, when I tried to move the bachelor pad together, and we're going to be putting a video out soon about that, about that experience. But the other Silkie roosters were just attacking him and jumping all over him, and he was scared to death. So I decided I would just move him back over.
He was off in a corner.
Yeah, and they were attacking him. So I said, well, he can get back over here with the hens. It'll be okay. And then I moved the Polish babies in here with the Silkies, and they seem to be doing okay. They're kind of shy in here. Don't socialize a lot. Now, one of these Polish ones is a rooster. I think it's that one that's eating right now. He's a rooster. And then I don't know if you can see or not, but this one is not a rooster. It's a hen. So she's kind of smaller than him. And Ed just wants to crow and crow and crow this morning.
I think he's very happy now.
Yes, he seems to be so happy. He just is excited about taking care of these little Silkie hens and rounding them up. Now, one thing about Ed, you know, earlier I was showing you kind of their combs and how they are on the Silkie roosters, but Ed's comb is not like the other Silkie roosters. It kind of sticks up on top of his head, and he's just he's so funny. He's just not like them, and I don't know if it's, you know, just something that happens in certain breeds of Silkies. You know, let me know in the comments below if you have a Silkie rooster that has a comb that kind of sticks up like his does. You know, Silkie's combs kind of lay down. They're kind of flat. They're not tall like that. So, you know, that's another thing that makes him kind of stand out and have a personality, is he kind of looks different.
And he's very dramatic.
He is dramatic. He keeps on crowing
he's what
and
you
stuff.
would call extra.
Yeah. So he's an extra kind of guy. I don't know if you can tell or not, Scott, their feet are black. Like their whole fur is black. Yeah. There's the other Polish. She's just kind of scared. I don't know what Ed is trying to tell us. He just keeps on crowing and crowing and crowing.
Hey, Ann. He's saying good morning, everybody.
I guess so. He's hilarious, y'all.
He's just like a dream come true for him. His own flock.
Yeah. He's so excited. So, let me see if there's any eggs in here. The Silkies. Let's see. There may not.
Have we got one laying?
Yeah, there's one sitting there. I don't want to disturb her. I was going to try to find one and show it to you.
Let me see if I
Yeah, see if it don't scare her. He's going to try to get in there so you can see her sitting.
Is she laying an egg?
She's probably fixing to. So, she's in there. Now, I have a problem with my chickens not wanting to use their nesting boxes either. You know, they were laying in the corner, and I put the nesting box over there in the corner, but they don't want to use it. None of them do. So if you have some ideas about that, let me know in the comments below also. And speaking about laying eggs, you know, a lot of people say to put the special herbs in the nesting boxes, and that'll help them. Now, I did try that. I put, you know, the special herbs in the nesting boxes to try to get them to lay, you know, when I was trying to, you know, get them to lay the other day when I changed their food, and that didn't seem to do anything for them. And I tried to put the nesting material in there, different stuff, and they just still won't lay in the nesting boxes. So let me know in the comments below if you have a problem with them not wanting to lay in the nesting boxes. But anyway,
do you want to see the inside ones?
Yeah, let's go look at the inside ones, and then we'll be done, and I'll show you there.
And if you don't know already, you can watch the live stream each day with these Silkies.
Yeah, I think it starts at 6:30 every day.
When they wake up.
Yeah. And that, if you can't see the little Polish ones, they're so cute. So, I don't know if you can maybe bend down, Scott, but this is the Polish rooster. He kind of has, his wattles are hanging down, kind of, they're red. And then the other two are hens. And he kind of has a personality, too. He's kind of, outgoing, kind of like Ed is. I'm encouraged to learn how he may act in the future, and as he gets older, he does have a little personality too. He kind of there's Ed. Ed's like, he's in there with the hen now. Like, he's like looking at her, I guess, to try to get her to lay her egg. I don't know. See how he does.
He's a good manager.
He is a good manager. He's the manager of the chicken.
He keeps things running.
Yeah, so let's go check on these other babies in here, see how they're doing. I didn't move them in with the other chickens yet. They're really small. They're really small bantams. I think somebody they're Belgium Duclaw, and I guess it's a French name or something. Here, let me see if I can turn the light on. So there's 2 roosters in here, so I'll have to do something with those eventually too. They're the same age as the Polish bantams, but I had to separate them. There was just too many in here, and you know, this is kind of my brooder that I use. You know, when the chickens get about 3 or 4 weeks old, I bring them and put them in here after I hatch them, so they can kind of grow up in here a little bit. It's, you know, I got them some toys in there, got them a swing and stuff, and they got their food and their water. And you can definitely tell the difference between the roosters and the hens on them. You know, her comb is really small, and both of theirs is kind of tall. And, you know, it seems to me that the bantam chickens, they mature faster than the other chicken, like a bigger breed of chicken does, to me. Sometimes the bigger breed of roosters, they don't start crowing till they're 6 or 7 months old.
And crowing yet?
Yes. So I've found with the bantam, the Silkies, the Polish, and these, that they start crowing very, very early, like 3 months. And these are only about 3 to 4 months. Yeah, she's swinging.
Like she's purposely swinging, ain't she?
Yeah. So they like that. They love perches. You know, any chicken mostly does. The only ones that I find strange is the Silkies. They don't like to get on perches. But my other bantams do. So, yeah, I'd love to know in the comments below if you have what type of breeds that you have. What you found about that. So you don't need a
heater in here now?
No, they don't need a heater now. They're okay. They've got all their feathers. They're doing good. You know, I kind of put the towel down at night and I close the door, and they do good. They don't really need their heater. See, he's already kind of being aggressive, being a rooster, you know. But I have found that with the bantams, the roosters, they kind of mature faster than they do on a normal chicken breed. They're kind of funny. I wish they would crow. They're learning to crow.
And it's funny when they learn to crow. It's like their batteries are not really charged.
Yeah, it is hilarious. So
I wish one would crow.
Yeah, me too. But they are learning to crow. They're hilarious. Look, he's real curious. So anyway,
you want to check for eggs?
Yeah, we can go check for eggs, and then let's see if we have any. Probably not. All right. So we only have 2 places we can look for eggs now. That we
Here's our free-ranging chickens.
Yeah. This is Harold. Here, come here, Harold. Let's see if I can catch him. Come here, buddy. Now, this is Harold. He don't like to be picked up, and he's kind of mean sometimes, but he will let me pick him up. He's one of my oldest roosters. Him and Nick are the same age, and they're actually brothers. And it's, you know, they're just mixed, but you know, Nick kind of turned out a brown and white color, and Harold is a red and black color. So he's real funny. He wants me to feed him some treats, obviously. Yeah, you do. He's a good boy. You don't hurt people, okay? No, you don't. So, if you have a rooster that's being mean, there are some things that you can kind of do with your roosters. Harold's not cooperating. But
your mic.
Yep. If you kind of hold them down on the ground and kind of hold their head down, it'll kind of teach them to not be mean. You know, you're kind of showing them who the boss is, because they think they're the boss. But we're going to put him down. He's ready to go. That's Pebbles. That's our daughter's cat. I think Bam Bam went back inside our other farm cat. Let's see if I can get my mic.
So again, if you're just joining us, we had a little problem with eggs.
So
we're not having any eggs right now. So
we're gonna look in here and see if we see
anything
any.
worked.
Yeah.
If their new diet worked.
Yeah. I don't see any eggs. There's 4 hens in this coop. One of them should be laying something. But there's no eggs in there. And if you want to take a look in there at our area, we just kind of have some roosting bars, and I have just cleaned this out. I have this bedding, really high up in here. It helps keep, some insulation and keep them warm during the winter. But we do have roosting bars in here, and I put their nesting box over here because they wasn't cooperating where they're supposed to lay eggs at. And we kind of have these clean out doors. This is a clean out door, and then this area was supposed to be, where the nesting box would be, and I could get the eggs, but of course they don't want to cooperate. So let's look in here, see if we have any eggs at all. So you can kind of see that they've laid an egg in there before, but there's not any today. Not any in there. So no eggs yet this morning, except maybe the Silkies. It looks like they may lay me some eggs. So yeah, I hope that y'all have enjoyed watching the chickens and hanging out with us, talking about roosters and not laying eggs. And we'd love to hear from you in the comments below. So
let's
please
walk around back.
Yeah.
If we can't, we'll have to when we end the stream.
Yeah. So
the computer's all the way back here.
okay.
Okay, now.
Okay. So anyway, we appreciate you watching and being with us today, and we hope you've enjoyed just being with us and talking about the roosters and about the chickens. And we'll try to do this every Saturday morning at about 7:30.
7:30 Central in the
Yeah,
US.
7:30 Central in the United States. And we want to thank y'all, for coming and hanging out with us this morning and just talking about the chickens. I love chickens. They're my life now. I enjoy working with them and trying to figure out the things with them that happen. I love their personalities. So I'd love to hear in the comments below if you have chickens or raising chickens or anything that we've talked about this morning, like the roosters or the not laying eggs, if you've had that problem. So thank you for watching. Please join us tomorrow morning, and we'll be live and talking more about some gardening. So please hit that like button and subscribe. Thank you for watching.
We had 45.